One Punch Man? It made me cry.
We do not care.
Chapter 169 unfolded the events that changes the perspective of the story forever, because not only has it deviated from the webcomic, but also revealed Saitama forgetting his dream coming true against a worthy opponent.
I want to punch you in the face so bad right now, but I want to keep my job.
Garou from the future died.
Hold on, what?
And Garou in the present isn't really having a good time. Everyone is ganging up on him, intending to finish him off. This time travel has essentially created a true circle, as Garou's goal has indeed come true, whilst he's not in the desired position. All the heroes have put their differences aside to beat the shit out of him.
Hey, it was kind of sad.
Garou is being humiliated, as it was the society that forced him to become a monster. His childhood is repeating itself, even though Garou is a deeply affectionate, misunderstood, and passionate person in reality. Garou's thoughts transcended the normal prejudice and notions, allowing him to understand how monsters would feel, as he is once again put in that position even in adulthood. The reality was brutal to him, as heroes were nothing like he'd imagined. They were selfish in nature, who couldn't care less about who they had to kill or why until it was human. You can see how the future Garou was extremely satisfied with the result of his last minute decisions, as Tareo was alive, and so were all the other heroes. As Genos mentioned to Saitama, if he had not made this decision, then every single hero and Tareo would have died in front of his eyes, and this would have led Saitama in a downward spiral even further, maybe even losing his mind and becoming evil. We have a future video explaining this possibility that Genos has claimed, so be a Chad, hit the notification bell, don't be a silly willy, otherwise you're gonna miss out. And you know what happens to the people that miss out on our video, right? Anyway, Zombie Man suddenly stopped the heroes from ganging up on Garou to ask him an important question. If the hero hunter received his powers from a higher up being like God, as Homeless mentioned this divine being before dying. Garou denies this power, calling it a bunch of horseshit, as this Garou believes he denied God's offer when he slapped it away. All he felt was a sudden attack from an unknown entity that destroyed his cosmic form. In chapter 168, we can see Saitama ending his career, and at the same time, God was taking back his divine powers, which means Garou doesn't know the complete truth. He asks Zombie Man to kill him already, as he has nothing left. But Zombie Man is surprised with his lack of motivation to live, as it is a drastic difference in his personality. This conversation also makes Saitama serious, ready to step in if someone actually tries to kill the hero hunter. So far, Saitama let people do whatever they want, as it would get rid of their hate. And it's not like these guys could actually hurt Garou because they're so weak.
Why so weak? So weak.
We see Tareo running to the current Garou and pleading to a mime mask not to kill him, as he was saved by the hero hunter multiple times. Tareo's subconscious was able to hear the future Garou cry and was awakened by it. Future Garou dies, but he is satisfied with his decision. Tareo represented his humanity, and he saw himself in him, an innocent boy that has all the potential to be the greatest. A mime mask denies Garou's selfless actions and tells Tareo that he has been lied to which ironically is a lie in itself. A mime mask is making shit up, mate. What's crazy is that the heroes are exhibiting the traits that Garou despises. They are lying to a child and intend to kill him. The heroes are conflicted for a second, but they all agree. However, during this, King intervenes. He's activated his power at full force. He realizes Tareo's uncle was Garou, and what he's saying is true as he witnessed it himself. King has essentially redeemed himself completely. It doesn't matter if he lied his way to the top or that he's a fake. He showed the true colors of a hero. King turned his engine on maximum output, garnering everybody's attention in an instant. Every single person knew that this was the King engine, but something felt different. The King engine had never sounded so terrifying. The heroes claim Garou caused major damage during the Hero vs Monster Association war, but it is apparent that the real damage had been dealt to their ego and pride. They don't want him to get away because they're interested in revenge, and that's it. They see nothing else. They don't care about a kid being traumatized, and that's why King could not let that happen. He says everyone needs to stop. A child is watching. Like my guy, he literally controlled the situation in 2 sentences because his luck power is so OP. King has never looked this cool before, and he seems like a true hero right now, which ironically he isn't, but still lives up to the ideals of one. The metaphor is brilliant, and the storytelling is mwah, as King is a mirror that exposes the actual heroes for who they really are. He is appalled by these so-called heroes and the way that they are acting, which by the way, if you want girls not to be disgusted at you like King is, then check out this shirt at animedrip.shop. I left a surprise for you at the pinned comment. It is fire! Alright, now in this segment, we have to cue the sad music, please. Literally, nobody has even seen King in such an angered state. He's truly worried about how this would affect Tareo, as this little boy considers Garou to be a hero, and if they were to kill his hero in front of his very eyes, it would traumatize him and possibly create a sense of antagonism against the heroes, creating a cycle of hate. Furthermore, King saw Garou save Bang, so he understands the role Garou had to play in the cruel world, agreeing with Saitama that what absolute evil is actually best at is saving people. Now, as Genos and Saitama talk, the demon cyborg touches his core from a different timeline, which results in him gaining memories of what had happened and how it led to the current situation. Genos tries to explain all of this to Saitama, but everything goes into one ear and out the other. Just like when my wife explains a life story of hers at work. I'm joking.
What the fuck?
This did leave a great impact on Genos though, as he believes that he has truly understood what his sensei is capable of. So let's enter my classroom. Everyone enter. Get your seats, bitches. It's merely a hypothesis based on the so-called parallel or multiverse theory.
2 hours later.
Based on the theory of relativity, surpassing the speed of light, which is 299,000.
Day 2.
I'm not sure when the divergence occurred, whether it was when the observer made a decision or took action, but when the teacher started traveling back in time, a new teacher separated from the...
1 eternity later.
Regarding the principle of retrogression, it can only roughly be divided into 3 patterns. Based on the theory of nature, it is not possible to exceed the event horizon and increase it infinitely, but it becomes a problem.
I'm confused right now, G.
Alright, worry not. My degree in anime bullshit science will simplify things. Genos' hypothesis suggests that the multiversal parallel worlds are a real thing. His core had the memories from the future, which we saw happen in the last few chapters. The future Saitama and original Saitama separated at the start of their time travel. When this time travel was completed, the future Saitama merged with the current one. Basically, Saitama transcended space and time, bending reality itself to prevent the worst case scenario of Genos and all the heroes dying. He manipulated the laws of physics and changed the reality of the cosmos to be a true hero, the only person capable of doing it. No matter how many parallel universes or timelines that there will be, or there are, or they would be, Saitama would have won and created this outcome of time travel to stop their deaths. So Genos gains all the memories of the previous 3 chapters, explaining to Saitama that he has come from the future. Obviously, Saitama doesn't take it seriously, but we've seen him ignore huge contextual statements before, even in the webcomic when Amai Mask explains his life story on the Ferris wheel. However, later on, Saitama proves that he was listening and understands. Genos states that he will later tell all the heroes of Saitama's achievements. Their dialogue is extremely important as it validates the pain Saitama felt. Genos' death and everyone dying due to Saitama not taking things seriously was a cost too high to pay. Hence, Saitama didn't even enjoy fighting against his dream opponent, right? He obviously doesn't remember this, but Saitama essentially had a breakdown because of his inability to save Genos, which resulted in these events. This ties perfectly to Genos' claim and highlights the way he has grown a heart, which Saitama said in chapter 155 of the manga during the beautiful color spread with constellations. Genos tells Saitama that he is a true hero and made it in time to save everyone, reassuring his attitude since Saitama suffers from a depressing outlook. Later, Bang claims Garou can't simply die, as he has to redeem himself over and over again. He doesn't get to choose something as simple as death. Garou says that the heroes will regret letting him live, to which Saitama declines, stating that he had saved 3 heroes already. And if you tie it with how many people he had saved during the first phase of his fight against Saitama, he doesn't seem like a monster at all, and even thanked him. Garou flees as expected, and he literally blitzes away so fast that there were no traces behind. Even S-class heroes couldn't understand where he went. And remember, at this point, even without God's blessing, Garou scales higher than all of them. This is a clear indication that Garou could have whooped everybody's ass, but Saitama, being the true hero that exists in the world, will stop the idea of absolute evil manifesting, which is a foreshadowing to the impending battle he has to face against the god on the moon, who will represent the absolute evil. All of this connects back to the webcomic pretty well, as Saitama's secret hasn't been revealed. There's a part in the webcomic where Amai Mask and Zombie Man witness Saitama's true strength, but that has been altered to suit the final saga of One Punch Man, where God has more weight in the story because he is the final villain. The story diverges with another S-class hero finally making his entrance, Metal Knight, who, by the way, also knows the truth about God, which proves our point. This cannot be a coincidence. Metal Knight is someone that is doing thorough research on Saitama and alien technology. He will make the remains of the current situation for his benefit, just as he did with Boris and his ship. He has engaged all his robots to help with relief measures and informs that everybody present at the site has suffered acute radiation and needs to be treated immediately. This is the perfect point to continue where the webcomic is, which is the rise of the new Neo Heroes Association. Everything is in shambles as Saitama talks about finding their home in between the rubble and the sea that has consumed City Z, countless injuries and even deaths. We're finally going to enter the final saga of One Punch Man, with God being one of the centerpieces who will keep being a hindrance in every single arc with tons of drama. But since Saitama's true strength is being questioned by everyone, you should watch this video on screen right now where we explain how every character found out about his strength and his true power and how it affected them.